Ciao Juventini of the world, my name is Giuseppe, welcome back on the channel. It's Wednesday and on this channel we will go live with a watch along of Inter-Juve, return game of semi-final of Coppa Italia. In the same channel, here on this channel, we'll go with a post game, and on that moment we will be aware, we will know who between the Nerazzurri and the Bianconeri will have reached the final of Coppa Italia, but also who will have received a ticket for the new format of Supercoppa 23-24 that we will speak about in a few minutes. Guys, before Juve Napoli, I asked one thing. I had one wish. It was to speak about football, to avoid any controversy. Unfortunately, it didn't finish that way. So I will ask it again. My positivity, my dreams are that today we can speak about football. I don't want to assist to controversial decisions of referees. I don't want that VAR invents new rules. I don't want red cards for one team to other teams. I don't want acts of violence on the field. I don't want especially racist chants from the stands. I want a night of football. I want to understand again why I always have loved Inter-Juve, Juve-Inter Derby d'Italia, because of passion for the game, because of the rivalry between the two teams, but rivalry that should be and stay on the field, with two teams that due to that rivalry will give their best to win that game and to show that they are stronger than the other one. And today, one will need to be stronger on the field because a draw will not be enough. If you draw, you go to the extra time and potentially to the penalties. So today, I repeat, and I cross my fingers that we can assist to a beautiful game of football. And crossing fingers is also the title of Tuttosport that is actually repeating the same thing I just said. They wish of a beautiful night of football. If Italy is able to be on the front pages with 5 Italian teams to the semifinals of European competitions, that means that we are also in the eye of international viewers. If we want to show a beautiful image of our country, Italy, about our sport, calcio, that means that we have to do it also on, but also especially off the field. Well, one thing is sure, we missed the opportunity to do it with Caramo, because you see below on the front page, Caramo non è Lukaku. Caramo, the player from Torino, is not Lukaku. What are they talking about? That Caramo during Torino and Lazio received racist chants, him and also Singo. Yesterday we discovered the punishments for every single team, like Landucci that will be banned because he was insulting the other team. Well, in that reports from all the teams, we didn't find any official reports of the racist chants that Singo and Caramo received, even if Caramo exposed them on his social media. Unfortunately, they didn't hear it, they didn't report it, so that means that the sporting justice can't take any action because there is nothing in the report. It's not too late, because the federal prosecutors, they can still start an investigation, and I really wish, because I want justice, I want to battle against racism, I really wish that they do it. Anyway, let's go back to the game of today, Inter-Juve, with Corriere dello Sport that is saying incrocio finale, last meeting between the two teams. Gazzetta dello Sport, giudizio finale, last judgment. Why? Because it will be the last time this season that Inter and Juve will play against each other. We already did it 2 times in Serie A, where the results were smiling to the Bianconeri, because we saw it 2-0 the game at home for Juve in Serie A, 1-0 the game away. In Coppa Italia, we already played 1-1, the draw, with the final penalty of Lukaku answering the goal of Quadrado. Today, there is no other way. We have to win if we want to qualify. Signore di Coppa. Cup men. Why? Why is it important for Inter? Why is it important for Juve to win that game today? For Inter, even if they saved already their season, achieving a crazy not predicted semi-final of Coppa Italia, well, Simone Inzaghi needs also to show that his team is a team that can win trophies, because the position actually in Serie A is 6th. It's not enough. So he needs to give a message that they are stronger. On the other side, we have Max Allegri that needs to wake up Juve. A disaster month of April, with the only beautiful thing was the qualification after eliminating Sporting to the Europa League semi-final. But we have to do better. We have to save the year. And one of the keys to save the year. Doesn't mean make it a fantastic year, but to save the year is qualifying to the final of Coppa Italia. Yes, but without Vlahovic, because yesterday Allegri already said that there was a small distortion to the ankle of Dusan Vlahovic, nothing really serious, but at 99% he will not be called up for the game of today. We had already problems to go on target, we had problems to score, we had problems with our strikers in the month of April to score. Well, this evening maybe the responsibility will be on the shoulders of Arkadiusz Milik, also him not able to score in the month of April. With a 3-5-2 mirror team as the one of Inter, with Bremer that is back and Danilo, but also Bonucci that didn't play an entire game of Italian football of calcio since the month of November. Perin will be the goalkeeper, De Sciglio back because we know with Quadrado is not there, Kostic on the left, Rabiot, Locatelli and Miretti winning the competition with Fagioli, up front Milik and Di Maria. But Gazzetta dello Sport, that a lot of time are correct on the lineups that are reported, well, they go with a crazy team. 10 on 11 are the same, but instead of Arkadiusz Milik, we see Federico Chiesa. So no real striker. The idea of Max Allegri would be, if we can't score with the real strikers, let's take them off and let's play with two falso nueve. Falso means fake, nueve means 9. Fake 9. So 2 fake 9s means maybe that we will have a real 9. Let's see if Federico Chiesa and Di Maria will play. I still have a dream. I still have a maybe possible idea and hope to see Paul Pogba from the first minute on the field. Let's see if I was dreaming too much or it will be reality. But of course we will wait for a Di Maria that has sense of revenge. After that goal incorrectly cancelled against Napoli, Di Maria want to revenge also the bad performance in that first game against Inter in Coppa Italia. Di Maria will be key, will need to be key if we want to win it. How is Inter playing? How can we beat them? Well, of course, when they are building, they are playing with 3 from the back, 3 midfielders that are giving availabilities, and with the fullbacks Di Marco and also the other one on the other side that are going super high. So pay attention how they build patiently from the back. On the other side, they're left side is the strength from Inter, with Di Marco that is going super high and also Bastoni going super high with the ball. Bastoni carrying that ball into the second opposition half. So pay attention to that left side, especially without Juan Quadrado. Will De Sciglio be able to man-mark a Di Marco that is really in top form? Well, that will be one of the keys. How can Juventus beat them? Well, we know it. If we are not able to score with offensive patterns, we will have to rely on the set pieces. Excluding penalties, Juventus was able this season to score 16 times on set pieces, free kicks or corner kicks, so that will be one of the big game. But of course, Juventus will have to do much more than we did this season. That means having more courage, daring much more, and that will be shown also in the pressing that Juventus will do to the players of Inter. As I always say, go with the first fall. Show that in the Giuseppe Meazza you are present. Show that you are there. Not with a violent fall, but show that you are able to make the first fall and say, we will not be there just to defend. We want to be aggressive. We want to go and win that game. A game that without Quadrado, we are asking ourselves, who can be the man? Well, we have a capocannoniere, and the capocannoniere, the top scorer of Juventus this season, is not Milik, Vlahovic, Moiskin, or the one that you have in mind, but it is Rabiot, so Rabiot can be decisive in today's game. The game, I told you, have a double meaning, achieving, or maybe a triple meaning, achieving the final of Coppa Italia, but also with the new format, because the two first ones ranked in Serie A will go and play the new format of 4 teams in Supercoppa, but also the 2 finalists of the Coppa Italia. So winning today give you a ticket to the Supercoppa, another trophy to be played in 23-24. So it's really important. The third one, of course, is after 3 losses in Serie A consecutively, showing that we are able again to beat an Italian team, showing that Juventus can dream of a better end of April and a month of May that we want to have a maximum of dates there. The good news, statistically, is that we played 4 times a semi-final of Coppa Italia against Inter, and all of the time we were able to qualify to the final. Hopefully the stats are not lying. If you're speaking a bit about Mercato, attenzione, because there is another derby not only on the field, but also on the player, Davide Frattesi. There is Inter that really wants to qualify to the Champions League to be able to invest a bit of money, and they have Davide Frattesi on their target. And we know that if Juventus is not able to extend and find an agreement with Adrien Rabiot, is going for the Italian young player. So that's one of the big derbies. On the other side, Juventus has already put their eyes to replace Alexandro on Valentin Barco, young player, 18 years old, that is doing really beautifully with Boca Junior as a left back. We'll of course speak about Mercato future in another moment, especially after knowing if yes or no Juventus can participate to European competition. And we know it, and I finish with the last news of Gazzetta dello Sport that is saying and repeating the words of Juve, that is continuing to repeat, we didn't do any misbehavior. And then the big question, will the club open the dialogue with UEFA? And let's not lie about it, we know it. All the attacks that Juventus is receiving since a few months, maybe since a few years, are one of the consequences of that project Super League, where Ceferin is really putting a lot of pressure so that Juventus is giving up on that project, especially now with the new management. If Juventus is giving up on the Super League project, idea, dream, well, maybe they will be more kind with Juventus. Otherwise, let's see what will happen. The consequences can be really tough. If you want to, you can comment what Juventus should do. Would we be open to participate to a dialogue? Would we bend the knee to Ceferin? Let me know in the comment. Anyway, I see you later here for the watch along of Inter Juve. I see you here, of course, for the post game of Inter Juve, and hopefully with a big smile. Hopefully speaking about Juve, speaking about football and nothing else. Grazie, forza, Juve.